Hey there, it's Anna. Welcome to the kitchen, not the garden today, because I'm actually sitting down to talk about seeds. This is a little bit of a seed haul. I ordered a bunch of seeds, actually most of them about a month ago, and I sat down at the time and filmed them when they came in, but I actually lost that footage. So I thought I would just do another little bit of a seed haul here as I start inventorying these seeds. I'm really working on pulling out the seeds from my collection that I want to use for my full summer 2023 garden. I'm kind of getting into the frame of mind of some seeds starting and things like that in the new year. But I couldn't pass up this fun little seed haul before I put all these seeds away. I've got a bunch of cold weather stuff for my fall gardens and probably for a little bit of a spring garden, whatever I decide to do as far as cold weather crops in the spring. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And then I have some fun things for summer, both for the garden here at home, and I'm going to have a garden plot again next summer. And so some of these things will probably be perfect for that, but I have a ton of seeds, so I just wanted to jump in. So cool weather crops. For me, my best cool weather seasons is really in the fall. Right now, I'm harvesting a lot of greens, a lot of kales and things like that out of the garden. So it's really kind of like the best time for me because we have a pretty short spring here. I'm in zone 7A, but I'm in Virginia. My last frost date is April, somewhere in the first couple weeks of April, and then it heats up pretty quickly. Once we're into May, we're into really a lot of, honestly, summer heat. So a lot of my things just bolt in the spring, but they grow really well in the fall. So this fall, I hit a couple seed sales and stocked up on a bunch of kind of cold weather crops, and I thought I would just go through these with you. Some of them I've already planted because, as I said, I got these seeds a couple month ago or so, but they're all really fun and some of my old favorites, and I wanted to share. So I really loaded up on bunching onions. I went ahead and grabbed this evergreen bunching onion, which is just sort of like a classic, but it's really hardy and really cold resistant. I started some of these in the greenhouse, and I'm hopefully going to be planting them out and growing them over the winter. I love bunching onions because you can grow them basically year round. For me, they do well in the summer, but they also overwinter for us, which is really amazing. And I got another classic one. So these Nabuka, I'm not exactly quite sure how to say it, Nabuka evergreen are supposed to be really cold hardy, really, really good. And then this is just Shiko, I'm not quite sure how to say that too, but this is a really great one for salads and soups. They're all really great for that, but that's especially what these are for, and they're just bright, really fresh, white looking scallions. And then I also grabbed, where is it? Somewhere in my pile, some Tokyo long white bunching onions, which are my favorite. So I just wanted to have these on hand. They are a bestseller from MI Gardener. It says back here, and I can see why, because they just grow so well. They do really well in small spaces, in pots. So a really nice one if you've got a container garden, which I do a lot of containers. I do actually have a discount code with MI Gardener as well. I'll put it in the description. But if you put in the code RECKLESS, you get, I believe, 10% off. So that's pretty cool. And then I have some red beard bunching onions because I just wanted to get some pretty color in the garden. I thought it'd be fun to try these. I also picked up some radishes just to have on hand because although I'll probably plant most of these next fall, I might put a couple in the spring, and I just like to have radish seeds on hand. So I got some crystal white wax. I thought they were really pretty. They're supposed to be really great for salads because they're kind of really juicy and sweet, which is kind of cool. And then sparkler white tip is a total classic. It's just one of those really easy to grow radishes. Supposedly. I do have trouble with radishes. If you've been around here, you know radishes sometimes give me a bit of trouble. But I've got some of these in the garden right now. I'm hoping that they will do well. It says it's cold tolerant, great for spring and fall gardens. So a good classic to have. And then I thought these looked really interesting, so I picked them up too. And it says great for shorter summers. So probably not maybe especially designed for my climate, but if you have a shorter summer, this is a great one for you. And it's just really pretty. and interesting. And then I picked up just a whole mess of greens. So I got some Freckles romaine lettuce. This is one of my standby go-to lettuces. I like romaines because they tend to be a little bit more heat tolerant. So that's a great one for me to plant in the spring, but I plant them in the fall garden too. And I just think they're really pretty and kind of decorative, and then just really tasty. I also got some cinnamon lettuce. I wanted this really pretty color, and I think it just, it adds to salads because it's this really like red, vibrant color. And going along with the interest, I picked up a couple packs of this bronze gourd leaf. I like the shape of this. I like to do a lot of lettuce in containers, so it's fun to have lettuce that has different shapes like this, and just adds a little texture, something different. Let's see, did I get any other lettuces? Oh yeah. This is the bronze mignonette. This is supposed to be super, super cold hardy. It's actually like a Russian form of lettuce, so obviously really designed for the cold. So that's one I am really excited to grow this fall, and I did get some of that going just to see how it would do over the winter. And then I got a bunch of other kind of random cool weather things. So I picked up some Mizuna. I have a white variety of Mizuna out in the garden right now. It's growing so well. I actually harvested a bunch of it for some salads this week, and we really enjoyed it. So again, was looking for kind of some different color, and it says the color changes. So the heat will bring out the green, and then if you grow it through more of like the winter and the cold temperatures, it'll be more of this like red color. And slow bolt arugula. This is like one of my, again, go-tos. I love arugula. It's probably my favorite green. I've tried a lot of different seed companies, different varieties of arugula, and I think this is my favorite. It's slow bolt, so for me, with it getting so warm so quickly in the spring, it's a good one. And then arugula is just such an amazing green. It's kind of spicy, but it's good on salads and sandwiches. You can wilt it. It's like, to me, it's like the best green. And then I got a couple like fun things. So some endives. Thought maybe I'd do like some of these in containers. It can be a kind of like a garnish, they say. Kind of grows like lettuce. So I'm interested to try that variety. And some really pretty radicchio. I have some of this started, and I'm hoping to plant this out here pretty soon and see how it does. I'm very interested in radicchio. I've never really grown it, and so I got a few different varieties from a few different seed companies to try, but this one I've got started, and I'm really excited to see how it does. And then let's see, what else did I get? Some other just kind of staples, giant noble spinach. Just wanted to try a really like large leaf spinach. I like the spinaches that are like a bigger large leaf, and I just wanted something that, yeah, this says this is the cold, it handles the coldest weather, does really well in early spring, so that's a good one. I'll probably plant some more of that out in the spring, but I do have some of it going right now. And I also started some of this pak choy. I love pak choy. It's so delicious, and I didn't grow it last year, and I really wished I had it. So I just grabbed some more. And this is supposed to be like a personal size, kind of like smaller head, which I thought was better just because my garden is so small. So I'm always kind of looking at those different like container varieties and small varieties. And then let's see, I got Grand Rapids leaf, just a fun romaine with a fun kind of texture and everything to add, again, just the differences. When I do container lettuce, I like to have like different textures and different leaves because I think it looks, it just looks pretty and more interesting when you've got a container. And then some scarlet kale, just to have another kind of kale variety on hand. This is a really pretty dark kale, and as the weather gets warmer, supposedly the color gets deeper. So I may try to do some of this in the summer, see how it goes. And then, okay, we've got some beets. I don't really know why I picked these beets in particular. I think I just wanted to have some beets, and so I grabbed these. An orange Swiss chard. I love Swiss chard, so I wanted to get some with the pretty color here. Just really beautiful. And then I did also grab my favorite Swiss chard, which is Ford Hook Giant. This is the most impressive, beautiful Swiss chard variety. I absolutely love it, and I definitely want to grow more of it. And there's more. Oh, one more lettuce here, a ruby leaf. again, for containers to have some difference. This is supposed to be very heat tolerant though, so I'm actually really excited to try to grow it in the spring garden and see how it will do. I'm very interested in finding the most heat tolerant lettuces that I can get going in my garden in the spring that can kind of continue a little bit longer, because usually by June, like, my lettuce is done and I'm just completely out. And then I grabbed a couple peas, just some fun varieties. These ones are short, so you don't need to trellis the Laxton's Progress, which is really fun. I want to put some little short peas in some different places, and so I wanted to try that. And then this is just a really pretty like yellow pod that I thought would be kind of unique and different, golden sweet pea. And I grabbed some cilantro. It's supposed to be another heat tolerant cilantro. I have so much trouble with cilantro bolting, so I thought that this would be interesting to try in the spring garden. More slow bolt arugula. And then I grabbed some apple blossom snapdragons. I'm really into these like apricot colors in the garden for next year, and so I'm gonna get some of these started probably pretty early on, because snapdragons are pretty cold tolerant. So I want to start some violas, some snapdragons, some pansies, and some ranunculus really early, like maybe even in January, and get them kind of out in the garden for the spring garden. So that's my plan for this, and I think that this like apricot-y kind of apple-y color will be gorgeous. With that in mind, I'm going to jump away from the My Gardener seeds for a second and talk about these seeds that I got from Park Seed that are actually a ranunculus. So I mentioned that I was gonna start some ranunculus from seed. Usually you start ranunculus from corms, but I found these seeds, and I think this is so interesting. So I'm really excited. That and apple blossom, this is what I'm kind of organizing today, getting out these seeds. Then I'm gonna get started early. I think these are gonna be really fun, really interested to see what happens with them. Okay, back to more My Gardener seeds. I got a few fun things, mostly for the garden plot this summer. Some Velvet Queen sunflowers. I love these deep, dark, like reds. Recently, this is just like the color palette that's appealing to me a lot. And then I also got some different basils. So I got a licorice basil. I grew this summer. I let it flower and the bees loved it. I didn't really use it that much for cooking, although it does have a really pretty licorice kind of flavor and smell. And so I definitely could use it, but I got a couple packs because I want to grow some of this in the landscape just to let it flower and let the bees enjoy it. And it lasted a really long time. Sometimes my basils get kind of covered in mildew and they get kind of gross, but this one didn't. It did really well and it really lasted. The baby's waking up. I better go grab her. All right, we've got a little friend to join us for a little while in the video. So the next things were just a couple squash. So I just picked up a straight neck squash. This is supposed to be really prolific. I'm looking to get a really good squash harvest this summer, so I thought that this would be nice like for the garden plot. And with that too, I grabbed the 8-ball zucchini because it seemed really fun. And sometimes those smaller fruits mean that you get kind of like a bigger harvest because they just ripen a little bit faster and they're ready to go and they get, you know, nice and full-sized quickly. Hey, sorry for the kind of choppy cut in the video. I'm still working on doing videos with a toddler and a newborn. It gets a little tricky sometimes, but I'm just out in the garden watering. I thought I would finish up. There were 2 more varieties that I got. A really cute little snow pea that is going to be like another pea that you don't have to trellis necessarily. Most of the ones that I found are the snap peas, but this is a snow pea, so that's a really interesting variety and I'm really excited to try that. I think it's going to be really good. And then I also got some, these were actually sent to me, but I got some Adelaide carrots, which are like a 3 to 4 inch carrot that's really good for growing in a container. I've seen a lot of people have really great luck with growing carrots in grow bags, so I think I might do that next year. So I just wanted to share those seeds and kind of wrap this video up. I hope you are having a wonderful day, maybe getting out in your garden, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.